Hello, my name is Karl Meneghella, and I'd like to welcome you to this season of Coffee with Karl. In each episode, we welcome guests from all over the world who are here to share their knowledge, insights and wisdom in topics both big and small. Hopefully every episode will also have some tips, tools and takeaways that you can use to further your personal and your professional growth. So thank you very much for joining me in Coffee with Karl. Thank you. Mr. Bradley, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Karl.
How have you been?
I've been doing very well, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. Yeah. So today, what are we talking about?
I thought of talking about a topic that hits all the businesses' life, a thing called risk.
Risk. Ooh, okay, very interesting. We're going to talk about risk. Okay.
What would be a risk for you?
Risk for me, missing my plane would be a risk if I'm not prepared. I risk missing the flight. A risk if I don't do preparation for the various jobs I have. I risk, for example, like yourself, we did a workshop on the weekend. If I didn't do my planning, I run the risk of either embarrassing myself or an incomplete presentation. So that to me is a risk. So
theoretical definition, it says unforeseen, unexpected event or situation that can cause you damage.
Yes. Yes.
Theoretically, right. So most of the companies look at risk management. There are risk management offices in companies.
Yes, yes.
CROs.
Yes.
Right. But whenever I speak to these people, I used to ask the guys, so where is the risk?
Interesting, interesting. And what do they answer?
They would definitely point out that the risk is outside.
Okay.
Outside coming in.
I can see why they would say that. The risk of competition, for example, the risk of someone taking their intellectual property, the risk of competitors in a marketplace, the risk of supply, for example. So I have a feeling, though, you're talking about something else here.
Yes. Now, if I go back to the definition, the damage it causes, unable to absorb that, is the risk. Let's take COVID.
Right, okay.
Let's take COVID. Say COVID was an international risk. Okay. But is that the risk? The risk is my immune system.
Hang on, I'm seeing a light here. So COVID is there, outside. The reaction I have to COVID is my internal immune system, my health, my... okay.
So the managing risk is not trying to control the spread of COVID.
Yes.
Is increasing my immunity.
Right.
To fight that. So the same thing now, people would say, I'm losing staff. People are leaving. So they say, foreign companies are paying more, so that's a risk.
Yes. And so to mitigate the risk, maybe it means paying more.
How do I retain my people?
Yes.
Is risk mitigation. So the understanding of the event, unforeseen, sometimes even if you see, don't respond, you say, okay, we can manage it. But the consequence, the cost of consequence and the unpreparedness, the agility is the risk. Now say, when you go on sea, the sea can become turbulent. The air can become turbulent. So the risk is not having a lifeboat or sufficient life jackets.
Yes.
So that is the risk. Because what happens from outside, it happens.
Yes.
So we are looking at outside in at risk. Rather,
so even me knowing how to swim will mitigate that potential risk of a storm where I'm thrown overboard.
Exactly. So the risk is you're inability to swim. But what we say is, sea is deep, that's the risk.
Yes.
That's always been deep.
Yeah.
Right? So how you look at risk from inside out than outside in. Because you couldn't predict what could happen from outside. So then how do you manage risk? So basically, when you say managing risk, they say what is the likelihood of happening and what is the impact. So you have the quadrant.
Yes.
So on one side the likelihood,
Yes.
low, medium, high.
Yes.
On the other side impact, low, medium, high.
Yes.
If the likelihood is high, impact is high, that's
A risk. Yes, I can see that. Okay.
So if the likelihood is high, impact is low,
Yes.
I would still take it.
So you can actually then have, rather than risk aversion, you can actually have a weighing the risk,
Risk matrix,
and
call
then you do a decision making based on that.
based on that. If
Okay.
the risk is high, but the impact is less.
Bear with me. What you're saying then is we have the risk high or low risk, and the impact.
One is likelihood.
Yes, likelihood,
So you have low, medium, high,
and this is the impact.
impact. Low, medium, high.
So it really is that simple.
Yeah.
So
So
if
you
it
have a
has
3 by 3
high-
quadrant. Not
Yep.
quadrant, 3 by 3 is
a high likelihood and high impact, I need to be very careful.
very careful.
I
So
like
you
it.
have to slot your situations into those.
Yes.
What is the likelihood of another new tsunami? And impact is high.
Yes.
If the likelihood is low, then you slot it there.
So is that why they developed, for example, things like the tsunami warning systems, that sort of thing, because they realise this could happen again and the impact's going to be horrific, so let's try and have better preparation next time
Exactly.
for this potential risk.
Right.
I like
So
it.
that's how you look at it. So all what we need to do is, as an individual or as a company, we need to re-look at the way we look at risk. It is actually an inside-out approach,
Yes.
right? And then identify the areas you need to improve. Your vaccination,
Yes.
right? The COVID
Your personal health.
health, hygiene.
With the COVID
Yeah,
example,
so
yes.
exactly. And the other piece, again, I need to ask you this. You heard this phrase, calculated risk.
I beg your pardon?
Calculated risk. We said we take calculated
Yes,
risk.
yes, yes. Yes, I have a passing idea of the notion. Yes, a calculated
What do you
risk.
think they calculate?
Me travelling is a calculated risk. Planes can crash, touch wood, but it's a calculated risk. I figure what's the likelihood of that? The likelihood is low, even though the impact is high.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's an acceptable risk for me. A friend of mine who lives in London will not travel by plane anymore. He was one time caught in a very, very severe turbulence. He actually came back to visit his girlfriend by train
Oh,
from London, refuses to fly. Because his experience, I haven't had the experience of a very bad flight, but he took that as now being unacceptable risk.
yeah.
So for me, to fly here is acceptable risk. To cross the road is an acceptable risk, but it's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk.
Okay.
People have got hit on the pedestrian.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I want to bring is what is the matrix? Is likelihood and impact.
Yes.
And when people say we take calculated risk, and I often ask them, so what do you calculate? What do you calculate? The likelihood and the impact.
Yes.
So if the impact is low, you just move in and take.
So perhaps there's also the uncalculated risk. I see many people on holiday riding their motorbikes without a helmet.
Exactly.
And I think that's just, to me, they haven't actually calculated the risk, because if they fall off, the
Impact.
risk is huge. The
And
impact
then-
is enormous.
And the likelihood of falling is also high because it's a bike and the way they ride in.
And especially because they're on holiday, so they're not familiar with the traffic and everything else and direction. And in addition to that, their attitude is, I'm on holiday, so they're already feeling that euphoria. They're not actually thinking about it. So really, that's an unacceptable risk with an unacceptable impact, high risk, high impact. There's a message there for everyone. And quite seriously, this might sound like we're being grandfatherly or whatever, but riding a motorbike without a helmet, by this definition, is a high impact and high likelihood.
Yeah. There's a red.
Yes, yeah, the red flashing light. Absolutely.
So the whole shift of your view should be inside out.
Yes.
Where the companies don't look at the inside weaknesses or insufficiencies.
Yes.
Right? And that's why you crash. Because your agility, because you're not assessed the inner strength of yourself.
Yes.
Periodic hygienic checks and your health conditions. If you don't measure that, even COVID, if you see, it took people who were having other ailments,
Yes.
not the guys.
They already had a predisposition.
Yes, exactly.
And COVID then exacerbated or exaggerated or honed in on that predisposition. So people were dying of influenza, for example, or respiratory problems. They already had the problem.
Exactly.
But COVID accentuated that.
So that's an inside issue. It's
Yes,
not
yes.
outside.
So it wasn't, yes. So if their health had been better, the impact of COVID would have been less.
Less.
I
So
see.
same in business. So we look at a new product coming into the market, or we talk about AI coming in, taking my jobs, robotics are going to take my jobs. But what is that you have done internally to avoid that or to ride that wave?
We had a session previously with Mr. Steve, who you know, and we talked about AI.
Yeah.
And I remember we talked about things like how do you reinvent yourself, and he happened to have several instances where he had to reinvent himself in his career. I think there's a message there for students that there's a risk. There's a risk that you'll be unemployed.
Yeah.
There's a risk that your job will become extinct.
Redundant.
Yeah, the way of the dinosaur. So to mitigate that risk is not about trying to create new jobs out there, because you can't do that. The risk, to mitigate the risk, means I need to develop myself, maybe learn new skills, maybe do new study, maybe to increase my knowledge, so that I am becoming less replaceable, or I can slot into a new position. So I go from this job maybe to that job.
So you brought in two important words. One is knowledge, other one is skill. Decades ago, when you were studying, knowledge was necessary.
Yes,
They were imparting knowledge.
yes,
Today, knowledge is on the phone.
yes,
Then what is it that needed? What is needed is the ability, the cognitive ability
yes,
to apply your learning,
yes.
which is a skill.
Yep, the
So the
application of that
university
knowledge.
students need to learn the skill to be relevant to the times.
Which also means then that the universities need to be teaching things which they can provide context for the students, so the students can see the value of what they're
Absolutely.
learning. So for example, in this one, we talk about risk mitigation. That's a concept.
Yes.
But if we can bring that back to our audience and say riding a motorbike without a helmet,
Yeah.
really understanding now the risk, the impact is high, the likelihood is high, now they can make a better decision.
Exactly.
Right.
So the point that you brought is the skill and the knowledge.
Yes.
But what will get you the job is probably the knowledge certificates you have.
Yes.
But what is expected you to perform is the skill set. So if you say, okay, AI is coming to me, it's a tool. If I don't upskill myself to use that tool,
Yes.
then I will
Left
be a
behind.
victim.
Yes.
Right. If I know how to ride the wave,
Yes.
it's two things you can do if you see the waves, right? You can either run away or go get your surfboard,
Yeah. I like that. Get a surfboard.
right? Go get your surfboard. So it's the same thing. So you said people think we lose our jobs if you don't upskill yourself. So it has to be a continuous process of upskilling ourselves.
Yes.
You upskill your phone, upgrade your phone how many times?
Several times, several iterations.
Look
yes.
at what we do with external things.
Yes.
And we keep upgrading because you know the next software will not work on your
Correct.
phone.
But that's also, I think, sabotage, where they make it on purpose, so it doesn't work. Yes.
But
built-in redundancy.
hypothetically, there are upgrades happening in everything around us. Take the vehicles, from steam to petrol to EV.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a transition, but where is our transition?
Yes.
We are where we are, and we expect the world to accept us.
So this is like a holistic awareness of ourselves.
That's a risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't understand internally your relevance to the present, then you become obsolete. And then you don't blame the system for that. Because risk is not outside in, risk is inside out.
Yes. Could I segue for a second? We had a talk before, just to give you background. We talked about two people having a conversation, and you said something about 6 people being present.
Yes, very
so
interesting.
there are 2 people here,
Yeah.
and we're not holograms. We're made
Yeah,
of flesh and blood. But you said something about 6 people being present. Could you explain that for me?
So I was at a wedding mass.
Sorry, you were.
I was at a wedding mass. One
Yes.
of my friends was a priest. My schoolmate was a priest. He was saying mass. And
Yes.
what do they say in church? This day 2 people become 1.
Yes.
Right. So I was thinking, and after the mass was over, I went behind the altar and asked, Father, how many persons were present at the wedding?
And the priest said,
two.
Okay. Yeah, husband and wife. Okay.
Yeah, they're two people, a man, a woman.
Yep.
Today became one. I said, okay, how many persons are present
Yes. Two people.
when
You and me.
two people are in conversation? Listen to my question. How many persons are present when
In
two
conversation.
people are in conversation?
Okay. Well, obviously there's at least two, but I have a feeling you're going to bring some more. So there's two,
Yeah.
you and me, or is it you and me, or is it more like who I think I am,
Yeah,
who you think you are?
That's four.
So that's two.
that's four. You are
Ah, yes. Okay. So I am.
and who you think you are different.
Okay, that's two. Yeah, yes, I can see
It's
that.
very different.
Yeah, because I know other people have different opinions that I have of myself. Okay, so who I am, who I think I am,
It's four.
who you are, who you think you are.
That makes it four.
Where's 5 and 6?
The person I want you to see who I am.
Ah, I see.
So I wear a mask.
So the person I am,
Yeah.
the person you are,
Yeah.
the person I think I am, the person you think you are, and the person I want you to see
Who you are.
who you are. Yes,
So you project a mask,
I get it.
right? This is why 6 months down the line in the marriage, the spouse will say, "This is not the man I dated."
There's 7 people now.
Because
No, I'm joking.
they always showed what she or he wanted to see.
Yes, yes. So in the dating, he showed and she showed the most desirable image of themselves, and then when the romance is over,
When
you
the
start to
mask is
see-
out,
yes, you start to see
then
they
who
are.
you are comes out.
So I have a couple of things here for our audience which come to mind. First of all, understand that there are external risks, but more important is mitigation of those risks. How to help to combat those risks is about you inside.
There are external situations.
External situations, and then our risk is our
Inability.
ability to deal with those.
Yes.
And then the second one, which I think is really important, especially when you are dealing with people, whether it's in a group assignment at university, whether it's in a team, in a business, is that there are many people present in the discussion. There's who the person is. There's who the person thinks they are. So I might think I'm being, a benevolent leader, and actually I might not be. I think I am. And then there's also the person that I portray. I put on the mask to say, this is who I am. So that's the person I want you to see. I like it. There's a very good lesson there for our audience.
Imagine, Karl, if you are seeing 10 people, you're going to
Oh,
be
no.
wearing 10 masks.
Yes, and there's going to be 30 people.
No, 2 plus 10.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
you
yes,
are,
sorry,
it doesn't
yes,
change.
yes.
But every other person you project, you have a different image. To show.
Yes, yeah. So the husband, the boss, the brother.
The boss,
yes.
the brother, the media, you
Yep.
put up a different mask. Now imagine you lose your identity. Because you have so many masks around you.
Yes.
And you would know who you are.
Who you really are.
So it's important to have a conversation, an honest conversation, is not to have the mask.
Yes.
As long as I don't have to put up something for you, at least I can be who I think I am,
Yes.
then you have some sort of
Yes,
trust.
yes.
Because until the mask is removed in a conversation, you have a risk of not trusting.
I like it. What I enjoy about this, and I think I'm getting to the stage where I can remove the mask.
Yes.
I try to. I like the fact that I can learn things that are new, and they're new for me. And even if it's been discovered before, it's new for me. And hopefully for our audience, there are things that they can learn which are new for them. Mr. Bradley, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. It
Thank
was
you.
Fascinating conversation.
It is
Thank
a
you.
fascinating conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you for joining me in this episode of Coffee with Karl. Hopefully the episode was a benefit in your personal and professional growth, and the tips, tools and takeaways will further help you. Thank you.